Stop scrolling. If you are flying to the United States in 2026, there is a real chance that the biggest threat to your visa is not in your suitcase. It is in your pocket. Not drugs, not fake documents, not anything dramatic. Your phone. And the mistake that destroys people is not refusing to unlock it. It is not arguing. It is not even lying. It is 3 seconds. 3 careless seconds that most travelers do not even realize matter. Let me tell you exactly how this goes. You land at John F. Kennedy International Airport in New York after a 14-hour flight. You are exhausted. You just want a shower and a bed. You stand in line at Customs and Border Protection, passport in one hand, phone in the other. Your visa is valid. Maybe you are a student. Maybe you are on H-1B. Maybe you are visiting on B-1 or B-2. Maybe you are a green card holder returning home. You step forward. The officer asks standard questions. Where are you coming from? How long will you stay? What is the purpose of your trip? You answer normally, calm, polite. Then comes the sentence that changes everything. Unlock your phone and hand it to me. Now pause. Most of you think the danger is in what is inside the phone. You are wrong. The real danger is what you do in the next 3 seconds. And if you get it wrong, you could lose your visa, face expedited removal, or trigger a forensic search that copies your entire digital life. This is not a conspiracy theory. This is based on official CBP Directive 3340-049A, the policy that governs how officers search electronic devices at the border. Today, I am breaking down 5 mistakes that immigrants make at U.S. airports that destroy their entry, their visa status, and sometimes their future. And I am not going to sugarcoat anything, because most immigration channels give you comfort. I give you clarity. Let us begin. Mistake number 1. Believing the Constitution works the same at the border. You have heard about the Fourth Amendment. It protects against unreasonable searches and seizures. Police usually need a warrant signed by a judge before searching your phone inside the United States. That protection is real inside the country. But here is the part people do not want to accept. At the border, the rules are different. There is something called the border search exception. Under federal law, U.S. ports of entry, airports, land crossings, seaports are treated as unique security zones. The government has been granted expanded authority to inspect people and property entering the country. That means CBP officers can search your luggage and your electronic devices without a warrant. No judge, no probable cause in the traditional sense, no criminal charge required. Now here is where immigrants sabotage themselves. They argue. They say, you need a warrant. They say, this is unconstitutional. They say, I know my rights. Listen carefully. The primary inspection booth is not a courtroom. It is not a debate stage. It is not the place to educate a federal officer about constitutional law. When you argue at primary inspection, you trigger suspicion. Suspicion triggers secondary inspection. Secondary inspection can mean hours of questioning, device searches, and detailed review of your travel history. You may feel morally correct, you may even be legally correct in theory, but the border is not about theory. It is about power, and CBP has a lot of it. Understanding that reality is not weakness, it is strategy. Mistake number 2, the 3-second mistake. This is the one that destroys people. The officer asks you to unlock your phone. You hesitate, you unlock it, you hand it over, and you forget one thing. You forget to disconnect it from the internet. Under CBP Directive 3340-049A, officers are allowed to search data that is physically stored on the device. They are not supposed to intentionally access information stored remotely in the cloud. That distinction matters. Local data is what is downloaded and saved directly on your phone. Cloud data is stored on remote servers, iCloud, Google Drive, WhatsApp backup servers, email servers. If your phone is connected to Wi-Fi or cellular data when it is unlocked, apps can automatically sync. That means when the officer opens your email app, old emails that were never downloaded locally may load. When they open your photos, your phone may start pulling images from iCloud. When they open WhatsApp, cloud backups might restore threads you thought were gone. You may think, but they are not allowed to search cloud data. Correct. They are not supposed to intentionally access it. But if your own device pulls it automatically because it is connected, you have effectively made it accessible. CBP policy states officers should request that connectivity be disabled before a search begins. Should, not must. If they forget, and you do not disconnect, you just gave them a live pipeline into your global digital footprint. So here is the rule. Burn it into your memory. If an officer asks you to unlock your device before handing it over, swipe down. Turn on airplane mode. Disable Wi-Fi, disable Bluetooth, then hand it over. If questioned, respond calmly. Officer, I am complying. I am limiting the search to locally stored data in accordance with CBP policy. You are not refusing. You are narrowing the scope legally. 3 seconds. That is the difference between a contained review and a digital floodgate. Mistake number 3, treating WhatsApp like it is harmless. This is where people lie to themselves. I am not a criminal. I have nothing illegal. It is just jokes. You are thinking in criminal law terms. CBP is thinking in immigration intent terms. If you are entering on a tourist visa, your legal position is simple. You must demonstrate non-immigrant intent. That means you intend to visit temporarily and leave. Now imagine this. You arrive on a B1 or B2 visa. You tell the officer you are visiting for 2 weeks. They review your phone during a basic search. They find a WhatsApp message that says, "When I come next month, can you help me find work at your store?" It does not matter if you were joking. It does not matter if you changed your mind. It does not matter if you never actually worked. That message shows potential immigrant intent. Under the Immigration and Nationality Act, misrepresentation or intent to violate visa terms can result in cancellation on the spot. Visa revoked. Expedited removal. 5-year bar from re-entry. And here is the brutal truth about encryption. Yes, WhatsApp uses end-to-end encryption in transit. That protects messages while they travel between devices. But once your phone is unlocked and the chat is open, the officer is reading plain text on a screen. Encryption is irrelevant at that point. Your device becomes evidence. Photos matter too. If you say you are visiting for 2 weeks but your phone contains screenshots of job listings, a resume saved in your downloads, messages discussing apartment rentals for 6 months, texts saying, "I cannot wait to finally live in America permanently," you just handed them contradictions. At the border, contradictions equal suspicion, and suspicion equals escalation. Mistake number 4. Not understanding the visa versus green card difference. This is where panic usually hits. Can you refuse to unlock your phone? Technically, yes, but the consequences depend entirely on your status. If you are entering on a temporary visa, tourist, student, H-1B, exchange visitor, you are applying for admission each time you enter. The burden is on you to prove admissibility. If you refuse to unlock your phone, the officer can interpret that as non-cooperation. They can say they cannot verify your story, they can deny entry, they can cancel your visa, and you may be on the next flight home. Now let us talk about lawful permanent residence. If you hold a green card and you are returning from a temporary trip abroad, the law treats you differently. A green card holder cannot simply be denied entry solely for refusing to provide a password. You have stronger due process protections. But do not misunderstand this. Stronger does not mean untouchable. If you refuse to unlock your device, CBP can seize it. They can issue a receipt and send the phone to a forensic lab. That process can take weeks or months. When analyzed, data can be copied. So you face a decision. Unlock and allow a limited search immediately, or refuse, protect immediate access, but risk long-term forensic analysis and loss of your device. There is no universal answer, but if you are making that decision for the first time at the counter, you are already behind. Preparation is the difference between control and panic. Mistake number 5. Triggering an advanced search. There are 2 categories of device searches at the border. Basic search, advanced search. A basic search is manual. The officer holds your phone and scrolls through content. They do not need specific suspicion for this. An advanced search is different. Your phone is connected to specialized forensic equipment. Data can be extracted, analyzed, and sometimes recovered even if deleted. Under CBP policy, advanced searches require reasonable suspicion of a violation or a national security concern. Reasonable suspicion is a low threshold. What creates it? Inconsistent answers, over-explaining, sweating excessively, changing your story mid-conversation, claiming a 2-week trip with 6 months' worth of luggage, arriving with a phone that was factory reset the day before travel. Let me be clear, if your phone looks brand new and empty, that can look like concealment. You think wiping it protects you. They think wiping it proves you are hiding something, and that suspicion can justify escalation. Composure matters. Answer what is asked. Do not volunteer extra information. Do not perform. Do not debate. At the border, calm consistency reduces risk. Now let us bring this together into a structured survival strategy. Your 2026 Airport Digital Defense Plan. Step 1. Audit your device before travel. If you are on a temporary visa, review your messages, emails, photos, and downloads. Ask yourself a hard question. If an officer reads this message without context, could it be misunderstood as immigrant intent? If the answer is yes, remove it from the device. Do not rely on hidden folders. Do not rely on app locks. Do not assume deletion means disappearance. If it is stored locally, assume it is accessible. Step 2. Log out of non-essential social media accounts before landing. Logging out creates an additional barrier during a basic search. If the app requires a password, it limits casual browsing. This is not about hiding wrongdoing. It is about limiting scope. Step 3. Memorize the 3-second rule. Airplane mode before handover. Always. No exceptions. Step 4. Know your status-based strategy. Visa holder, comply strategically. Green card holder, understand refusal consequences. Do not improvise. Decide in advance. Step 5. Control your behavior. You cannot fake calmness, but you can control your breathing. Short answers, direct responses, no jokes, no sarcasm. The officer is not your friend. They are not your enemy either. They are evaluating admissibility. Do not give them contradictions. Now here is the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. Your phone reveals more about your intentions than your words ever will. At the border, words are claims. Data is evidence, and evidence wins. You do not get to explain nuance in a long philosophical debate. You get a few minutes, sometimes less. If your digital life contradicts your spoken story, you lose credibility instantly. And credibility is everything at the border. You can feel this is unfair. You can dislike the policy. You can argue about civil liberties. None of that changes what happens at the inspection booth. Preparation does. If you are flying soon, do not wait until the airport lounge to think about this. Do not assume it will not happen to you. Most people who get stopped say the same thing after, "I never thought they would check my phone." Hope is not a strategy. Preparation is. Share this with anyone flying to the United States in 2026, especially students, especially first-time visitors, especially people who think jokes about working under the table are harmless. One careless message, 3 careless seconds, one inconsistent answer. That is all it takes. Stay sharp, stay controlled, and never walk into a border inspection unprepared.